Scano, Six Nations, Howe, Gitro, Daskawa, Niwa Quenzodet, Michelle, Neat Butterflyway Ranger, Nigyaso, Gana Squawta Goa, Neat the Date, De Wasa Dekni, Heskahawits, Nate Watne, Nishudate, Negwato, Earth Day, Gayaso. With it being Earth Day, I thought I'd do an update on my Butterflyway project ideas. February 2021, I became a Butterflyway Ranger with the David Suzuki Foundation. A ranger educates his or her community about creating butterflyways and pollinator patches. A ranger is also to create 12 new butterflyway gardens in the community. So I didn't do the education or the butterflyway gardens, but personally, because I was just learning, I tried to create 100 milkweed patches by mailing seeds to community members. I bought 500 milkweed plants at a local greenhouse to be gifted at community events. I learned all I could from the Butterflyway Project educational webinars and other members. Mostly, I tried to find low-cost ways for us to create native pollinator patches in our own yards. And I spent last year experimenting in my own yard with my own Butterflyway ideas for Six Nations. So in my initial Butterflyway Ranger video, I outlined ways to help Indigenous life thrive here on the res. One way was to help declining monarch populations by planting lots of milkweed. Another way was to let your yard start to naturalize. Another way was to indigenize your yard by putting in more indigenous plants. And another way was to keep Six Nations as wild as possible. So with the milkweed, I did try to grow some from seed last spring. They didn't grow, so I had to buy some from local greenhouses and garden centers. I bought common milkweed and butterfly milkweed and planted them in my front yard. They grew, they flowered, they got pods. Monarchs started visiting after they were about a foot tall or so. And we got caterpillars, which was the main goal, to create nurseries for the monarch butterfly to lay their eggs in. As for naturalizing, I let the areas on the outer edge of my backyard just naturalize to see what would grow there. A lot of flowers came in: chicory, heal-all, Queen Anne's lace, or a bunch of different flowers and plants. But I also learned that invasive plants were in my yard, so those had to be removed. So in the process of naturalizing your yard, it's good to learn what the native plants are and what the invasive plants are, so we can get rid of the invasive ones so that the native ones can thrive. For indigenizing the yard, I encouraged native plants to grow. I also visited greenhouses and garden centers and purchased native wildflowers from them. We also planted cherry tree, pear tree, we have some elderberry bushes. Also, for the past couple of years, I've been experimenting trying to grow a Three Sisters mound garden. I got it this year, corn, beans, and squash, which was beneficial not only to us, but to a lot of native insects. Squash bees I just learned about last year. It was good all the way around. So I had new trees, new plants, and native vegetables growing in my yard. And the last part, keeping Six Nations wild. I know progress happens and people need homes, people build businesses. But if we could leave as much of the ecosystem as wild as possible on our property, that would benefit native plants and all of the animals that rely on these native plants. And it would make our community healthier, starting literally from the ground up. I hope we can keep Six Nations as wild as possible. But by letting all of these indigenous things take root and grow, I'm getting so much more wildlife in my yard. I have all kinds of birds, all kinds of insects, new bees I never seen before, rabbits, raccoons, possums. They were just like everywhere. We even had feral cats living in the yard last year. And I've been living in Ashwegan for over 20 years. Last year was the first year a deer was hanging out in my backyard. And I thought that was really special and proved to me that what I was doing was good and right. Was good for the earth, was good for the plants, was good for the animals, and if all that stuff is good for them, it's good for us as Ongwahoi people as well, because we're all growing and thriving together. And that's it for this little video. It's just an update of what I did last year, and hopefully this year I hope to be more active as a Butterflyway Ranger in the community. Nyawa for listening, and remember to show the earth, our mother, love every day.